Moving to Boulder County can be confusing, and a big part of that confusion is that Boulder isn't just one place. It's a city, it's a county, and it's a collection of very different towns that all get lumped together under the same name. So in this video, we're gonna pop open the map and I'm gonna show you everything you need to know about relocating to Boulder County. From the best towns and neighborhoods, to how you actually get around, to what you can buy depending on your budget. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm Lenny Maiocco with Boulder County Living, and every week I bring you the latest on real estate, lifestyle, and development happening right here in Boulder County. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. My team and I help folks just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest throughout Boulder County. So shoot us a call, text, or email if you check any of those boxes, and we'd love to help. In today's video, I'm gonna break down the county by focusing on four main components: getting around, neighborhoods and towns, things to do, and budget. Let's get into it. Okay, number one, getting around. So let's start with the highway system, because unlike a big flat metro grid, Boulder County is squeezed between the plains and the mountains. So how you get around really depends on where you sit in that geography. The big one is US 36, also called the Boulder Turnpike. This runs southeast to northwest, connecting Denver up through Westminster, Broomfield, Louisville, and Superior before it terminates right in downtown Boulder. If you commute to Denver at all, US 36 is going to be your lifeline. And it's also got dedicated toll express lanes to help you skip the worst of the traffic. Then you've got the diagonal highway, which is State Highway 119. This one runs from Boulder up to Longmont, and it's called the diagonal because it literally cuts a diagonal line northeast across the county. If you live in Longmont and work in Boulder, or vice versa, you are going to know this road extremely well. Keep heading northwest past Boulder on 119, and it eventually becomes the peak-to-peak highway, climbing up into Nederland and the mountain communities. Running north and south on the eastern side of the county, you've got US 287, also known as the Foothills Highway, down south, connecting Broomfield up through Lafayette and Louisville, and continuing north into Longmont. This is going to be a major road for somebody living in that southeast corridor. Then there's State Highway 93, which connects Boulder south down to Golden and the west side of the Denver Metro. Useful if your job takes you towards the Jefferson County side of things rather than straight into Denver. State Highway 128 is a smaller connector that links Superior and Louisville over towards Broomfield. And Highway 7, sometimes called Arapahoe Road out this way, runs from Boulder through Lafayette and continues east, while also being one of the routes that eventually connects up towards Estes Park and Rocky Mountain National Park if you go the other direction. Speaking of the mountains, if you end up living up in Nederland, Ward, Gold Hill, or Jamestown, your world revolves around a completely different set of roads. Boulder Canyon Drive, which is Highway 119, climbing up from Boulder into Nederland, Left Hand Canyon Drive, Sunshine Canyon, and the Peak to Peak Highway, connecting the mountain towns to each other. These are gorgeous drives, but they're two-lane canyon roads. They close during bad snow or rock slides, and your commute time into Boulder proper can easily be 30 to 45 minutes, even though it's only 15 or so miles. And then, up in the northwest corner of the county, Highway 66, the Ute Highway, connects Longmont through Lyons and continues up towards Estes Park, which is the main route if you're living in Lyons or commuting in that direction. Thinking about relocating to the Boulder-Denver area? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it down below. From top employers, the best hospitals, and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part is that this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me, 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. Hope that helps. Now, let's talk public transportation, because Boulder actually has a surprisingly strong transit network for a county this size, run primarily by RTD. The flagship route is a Flatiron Flyer, which runs express service along the US 36 connecting Denver's Union Station all the way to downtown Boulder, with stops in Westminster, Broomfield, Louisville, and Superior along the way. There are several branded routes, the FF1 through FF6, depending exactly where you're starting and ending. And it uses dedicated toll lanes to bypass traffic. So the ride from Boulder into Denver takes right around an hour. Inside the city of Boulder, you've got the HOP, which is a circulator bus connecting downtown, the University of Colorado campus, Boulder Junction, and the 29th Street Mall. There's also the Skip, running the length of Broadway, the Jump connecting Boulder to Lafayette and Erie, and the Dash connecting Boulder to Lafayette by way of Louisville. If you're headed north, the Bolt route runs between Boulder and Longmont along the diagonal. And if you're headed up into the mountains, there's an NB route that runs to Nederland. RTD also runs Skyride service straight to Denver International Airport. One more thing worth knowing, if you or anyone in your household is a CU Boulder student or employee, your CU ID doubles as a free RTD pass on nearly every regular route in the system, which is a huge perk if you're looking at neighborhoods near campus. Outside of the city of Boulder and that southeast quarter of Louisville and Superior, transit options thin out fast. Longmont, Lafayette, Erie, and especially the mountain towns are largely car dependent, so keep that in mind depending on your lifestyle. Okay, if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. We put out a new Boulder County video every single week. Now, let's get into the different towns and neighborhoods, and the way I want to do this is break the county into 4 regions: the city of Boulder itself, the southeast corridor, North County, and the mountain communities. Let's start with the city of Boulder because it's not just one neighborhood, it's a collection of very distinct pockets. Downtown and the Pearl Street Mall area is the historic core, walkable, full of shops and restaurants, and it butts right up against the University Hill neighborhood, which is dominated by CU Boulder student housing. Just west of downtown, you've got the Chautauqua and Table Mesa areas in South Boulder, sitting right at the base of the Flatirons. This is where a lot of people move specifically for trail access, and you can walk out your door and be hiking within minutes. North Boulder, which locals just call Nobo, has become one of the more artsy, up-and-coming pockets of the city, home to the North Boulder Art District and a growing restaurant scene along North Broadway. And then, out on the eastern edge of the city limits, you've got Gun Barrel, which is most suburban in feel, home to a lot of tech offices, and it tends to offer a bit more square footage for the money than the neighborhoods closer to the Flatirons. One thing that shapes literally every neighborhood in the city of Boulder is the Blue Line, an ordinance that limits development above a certain elevation on the mountain backdrop, plus the city's green belt of protected open space land that wraps around the Boulder's edges. Combine that with a 55-foot high limit on buildings, and you got a city that has deliberately restricted its own growth for decades, which is a huge part of why inventory is so tight and prices are so high compared to almost anywhere else in the state. Moving southeast now, you hit the corridor of Louisville, Superior, Lafayette, and Erie, all connected by US 36 and US 287. This area has consistently ranked among the best places to live in the entire country, and it's where a lot of families end up when they want easy access to Boulder and Denver without paying Boulder City prices. Louisville has a small, walkable downtown of its own and a reputation for excellent schools. Superior is right next door, more master planned in feel, and much of it was rebuilt after the Marshall Fire in late 2021. So you'll find a lot of newer construction there today. Lafayette sits just east and has a slightly more relaxed, less polished vibe with a strong Old Town core along South Public Road. And Erie, which actually straddles the Boulder and Weld County line, has exploded with new subdivisions over the last decade and tends to offer the most new build inventory of the group. Heading north, you've got Longmont, which is the second largest city in the county and generally the most affordable option that's still inside Boulder County itself. Longmont has its own historic downtown, a growing brewery and food scene, and a lot more subdivision style new construction than you'll find closer to Boulder. Just southeast of Longmont sits Niwot, which is unincorporated, meaning it doesn't have its own city government, but don't let that fool you, because Niwot is consistently one of the most expensive zip codes in the entire county, known for large lots, horse properties, and a tiny, charming, historic downtown. And up in the northwest corner, Lyons sits right where the plains meet the canyon, at the mouth of the North and South St. Vrain Canyons, which makes it a gateway town for anyone heading up towards Estes Park and Rocky Mountain National Park. And then last, up in the foothills and mountains, you've got Nederland, Ward, Gold Hill, Jamestown, and El Dorado Springs. These are small, tight-knit, unincorporated or barely incorporated communities, most of them at 7,000 and 9,500 feet of elevation. Life up here is a completely different lifestyle. Think well water, septic systems, longer winters, and a real do-it-yourself mentality. Nederland is the largest of the bunch, and it has its own little downtown with shops and restaurants. But if you're moving up into any of these towns, you should plan your life around canyon road closures, wildlife evacuation routes, and a real commute into Boulder proper. If you're liking this information so far, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. It helps bring this channel to others and helps it grow. And it means you won't miss any of our upcoming Boulder County videos. Okay, let's talk budget and housing. If you're shopping in the $500,000 to $650,000 range, Longmont is going to be far and away your best bet within Boulder County. The median sale price there sits around $555,000 to $600,000, depending on the month, which is close to the statewide Colorado median of about $563,000. You'll also find some inventory at this price point out in Erie and in the Lafayette side of the southeast corridor, though it's getting harder to find there every year. Inside the city of Boulder or in Niwot, this budget realistically won't get you a single family home at all. Moving up to the $650,000 to $900,000 range, this is where Lafayette and the broader southeast quarter really opens up, with Lafayette's typical home value sitting in the high 600,000s to low 700,000s. Louisville runs a bit higher, with recent median sales prices right around $825,000 to $840,000. And Superior has actually pushed past that with a median sales price near $965,000 as of this spring, largely because so much of Superior was rebuilt brand new after the Marshall Fire. This budget will also get you into some of the more attainable pockets of Boulder itself, like parts of Gun Barrel, though it is competitive. All right, north of 900,000, you're now solidly in the city of Boulder territory, where the median sales price has been hovering right around $850,000 to $1 million, depending on the data source and the season. And the average home value across the whole city sits closer to $970,000. Push further out to Niwot, and you're looking at a median listing price north of $1.3 million, which consistently makes it one of the priciest zip codes in the entire county, driven by large lot, horse property, and estate-style homes rather than dense subdivisions. Hey guys, it's Lenny Maiocco. As much as I love making these videos, there is one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over the US and the world make the move here to the Boulder-Denver area. I've helped countless families make the move. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and linked in the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to the Boulder-Denver area. Wow, lots of information. So where do you live? Well, if you want the most affordable entry point in the county, look at Longmont. If you want new construction plus family-friendly suburbs, look at Erie or Superior. If you want walkable small-town core plus strong schools, look at Louisville. If you want relaxed vibe, historic old town, you gotta look at Lafayette. If you want easy RTD access to Denver, look at Boulder, Louisville, or Superior. If you want trail access right out your front door, look at South Boulder, Chautauqua, or Table Mesa. If you want large lots and horse properties, you gotta look at Niwot. And if you want a true mountain town lifestyle, take a look at Nederland, Ward, and Jamestown. So there you have it, a full tour of Boulder County. To recap, US 36, the Diagonal Highway, and US 287 are your main arteries. RTD's Flatiron Flyer and the Bolt and Dash routes give you real transit options if you're near Boulder or the Southeast Corridor. Longmont is your most affordable entry point into the county. The Southeast Corridor of Louisville, Superior, Lafayette, and Erie is the sweet spot for a lot of relocating families. And the city of Boulder itself, along with Niwot, are where you'll pay a serious premium for the mountain views and the walkability. I trust you learned something new from this. If you have any additional questions, always feel free to shoot me a call, text, or email. And if you want to go deeper on any one of these towns, check out the next video right here. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more great exclusive videos on Boulder County lifestyle, real estate, and everything else happening around the county. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.